Welcome back, coin collectors and enthusiasts. Today, we have something truly special to explore, something that could be hiding in your pockets or in an old coin jar, just waiting to be discovered. If you love rare coins or are new to the world of numismatics, then you're in for a treat, because we're talking about a coin that could be worth far more than its original face value. That's right, I'm talking about the 1965 United States quarter dollar, a coin that is part of a fascinating story and has a surprising value that might make your jaw drop. At first glance, the 1965 quarter might seem like just another piece of American currency, one of the millions minted that year. After all, it's been over 50 years since this coin was first released into circulation. But the truth is, this particular quarter is more than meets the eye, and it has a story that makes it one of the most interesting and valuable coins in the U.S. mint's history. Let's go back in time to 1965. This was a turning point for the U.S. Mint and the country as a whole. In 1965, the U.S. government made the monumental decision to remove silver from most of its circulating coins. Up until that point, quarters, dimes, and half dollars had been made with a substantial amount of silver. But in 1965, with the rising cost of silver and a need to curb coin production costs, the mint switched to a copper-nickel composition for these coins. Now, this may seem like a small change, but it had huge implications for coin collectors. The shift to a copper-nickel blend meant that the 1965 quarter, while still technically a quarter, no longer contained the silver that made earlier versions so desirable. However, there's a catch. Many collectors believe that some 1965 quarters, particularly those that were struck on leftover silver blanks from previous years, could still contain a small amount of silver. This creates a rare and fascinating category of 1965 quarters, those that are known as silver error coins. These are coins that were mistakenly struck on silver planchets from prior years, meaning they have a unique blend of silver and copper-nickel. Because these coins were never supposed to exist, they are incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. Now, let's talk about what makes these silver error 1965 quarters so special and valuable. As we mentioned, these coins were struck on blanks intended for other denominations or years. This means they don't look exactly like the typical 1965 quarter, and they have a weight, shine, and luster that are different from the regular copper-nickel coins produced that year. These coins stand out because of their distinctive characteristics, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for the rarity of a quarter that was never meant to be made. If you have a 1965 quarter, the first thing you'll want to do is check for any signs that it might be one of these silver error coins. Look closely at the weight of the coin. Silver error quarters will weigh about 6.25 grams, while the standard 1965 quarters are lighter due to the copper-nickel composition. Additionally, you might notice a slight difference in the shine and color. Silver coins tend to have a more brilliant, shiny appearance compared to their copper-nickel counterparts, but that's not the only thing that could increase the value of a 1965 quarter. Even without the silver error, there are other factors at play that make certain 1965 quarters more valuable than others. For example, the condition of the coin is a huge factor. Coins that are in excellent, uncirculated condition, with sharp details and minimal wear, will be worth more than those that have been heavily circulated or damaged over time. Collectors also look for other potential minting errors, such as misaligned dies or double strikes. These errors occur when the coin is struck improperly, causing the design to appear slightly off-center or doubled. While these errors are not as common, they can make a coin significantly more valuable, especially when combined with its rarity and historical significance. So, how much could a 1965 quarter be worth? Well, if you're lucky enough to have a silver error 1965 quarter or one in pristine condition, you could be sitting on something incredibly valuable. Coins like these have been known to fetch prices far beyond their original 25-cent value. In fact, a 1965 quarter with one of these rare minting errors or in top condition could be worth as much as $79,000. Yes, you heard that right, $79,000 for a single 1965 quarter. Imagine that. A quarter that was originally worth 25 cents could now be worth an incredible amount due to its rarity and the errors associated with it. It's amazing how a small mistake in the minting process can turn a humble coin into a collector's dream. So, what should you do if you think you have a rare 1965 quarter? The first step is to carefully inspect the coin for any signs of errors or unusual features. Then, get it professionally graded by a numismatic expert to assess its condition and rarity. A certified coin grading service can help determine its value based on its condition, errors, and overall desirability in the collector market. Coin collectors around the world are constantly on the lookout for hidden treasures like the 1965 silver error quarter, so if you happen to find one of these rare coins, you'll want to make sure it's properly evaluated. It could be worth far more than you ever imagined. 1990 quarter dollar. You might think this coin is just another quarter that's been circulating for decades, but think again. This seemingly ordinary coin could be worth an extraordinary amount of money. In fact, if you have the right 1990 quarter, you might just be holding on to something far more valuable than you imagined. Stick around, because we'll reveal the mind-blowing price at the end of this video. Trust us, you don't want to miss it. The 1990 quarter dollar is part of the iconic series of quarters minted in the U.S. These coins feature George Washington's portrait, which has been a part of U.S. coinage for decades. However, what makes the 1990 quarter truly remarkable isn't its design, it's the rarity, the unique errors, and the condition of the coin that have caught the attention of collectors and investors alike. You see, the 1990 quarter isn't one of the more commonly discussed years in coin collecting circles, but that's exactly what makes it so intriguing. Let's start by talking about the most important factor, rarity. While the 1990 quarter was produced in large quantities, there are certain variations that make some of these coins incredibly rare. A huge number of 1990 quarters were circulated as part of regular transactions, and over the years, many of them have been worn down or damaged. But if you manage to find one in pristine, uncirculated condition, that's where the value really starts to soar. A perfectly preserved 1990 quarter, with no signs of wear, can already fetch a nice amount from collectors who appreciate its historical and aesthetic appeal. But wait, there's more. Some 1990 quarters have certain errors or minting inconsistencies that can make them far more valuable. These errors are what really drive up the coin's worth, turning what seems like a simple quarter into a collector's dream. One of the most notable errors associated with the 1990 quarter is the double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck twice, but slightly off-center. This results in a coin with a slightly distorted design, especially on the lettering and the face of George Washington. Double die errors are highly sought after because they are rare and unique. No two coins with this error will ever be exactly the same. Another error that can make a 1990 quarter more valuable is the off-center strike. When a coin is improperly aligned in the press during the minting process, the design can be stamped in an off-center manner, leaving part of the coin blank. These coins are considered to be anomalies, and collectors absolutely love them because they represent mistakes that were never meant to be. An off-center 1990 quarter could be worth far more than you'd expect, depending on how much of the coin's design is missing. There's also the possibility of other minting flaws that can make certain 1990 quarters stand out, such as weak strikes or metal inconsistencies. These issues often go unnoticed by most people, but to a trained eye, they can significantly increase a coin's value. Minting errors are rare and often go unnoticed by the public, which makes them all the more intriguing to those who know what they're looking for. And now, let's talk about how condition plays a major role in determining the value of a 1990 quarter. As we mentioned, the majority of these coins were circulated and show signs of wear and tear. However, the ones that were well kept, stored carefully, and remain in uncirculated condition are highly prized by collectors. Coins that are graded as MS65 or higher are especially sought after, as they represent coins that have been preserved in almost perfect condition for decades. A coin in such great condition, paired with a rare minting error, can skyrocket in value and become a prized possession in any collection. Now, here comes the moment you've been waiting for. How much can a 1990 quarter be worth if you happen to have one with a minting error or an exceptional condition? Well, the answer is simple. It could be worth a jaw-dropping $73,000. Yes, you heard that right, $73,000 for a single 1990 quarter. That's the potential value of a rare, uncirculated, or error coin from that year. If you've been collecting quarters or simply come across one of these hidden gems in your spare change, it's worth taking a closer look. You could be holding onto a piece of history that could change your financial future. Imagine discovering this rare coin and being able to sell it for such a remarkable price. Talk about a lucky find. So, whether you're an experienced coin collector or just starting to explore the world of numismatics, remember to always keep your eyes peeled for 1990 quarters with unique features or errors. You never know when one of these valuable coins might cross your path. Top 3 995 quarter dollar. Now, at first glance, this may seem like just another regular coin, but trust us, it could be worth far more than you think. In fact, if you've got one of these coins in the right condition or with a rare error, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. Stick with us through the video, and we'll reveal just how much a 1995 quarter could be worth today. Let's start by setting the scene. The 1995 quarter dollar is part of the famous Washington Quarter series, which has been a staple of U.S. coinage for decades. Featuring the profile of George Washington, this coin was minted as part of the regular circulating quarters. At first glance, it might seem like a regular, everyday coin that you've come across hundreds of times. However, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. What makes the 1995 quarter dollar so fascinating is its rarity. While this coin was produced in fairly large quantities, certain characteristics, errors, and conditions have turned it into a highly sought-after collector's item. The most valuable coins are often the ones that weren't meant to be, and the 1995 quarter is a perfect example of this. Coins that were struck with errors, misprints, or unique features can fetch incredible prices, and the 1995 quarter is no exception. One of the key factors that makes certain 1995 quarters so valuable is the possibility of minting errors. These errors happen when something goes wrong during the minting process, creating a unique and often irregular coin. For example, one of the most coveted errors is the double die strike. This occurs when a coin is struck twice with the same design, but slightly misaligned. This results in a doubled image, which can be seen in the lettering or the design of George Washington's face. The double die error is rare and, as a result, coins with this error can fetch a significant price among collectors. Imagine stumbling upon a 1995 quarter with this mistake. Suddenly, your pocket change has turned into a potential treasure. Another potential error that can make a 1995 quarter stand out is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is improperly aligned in the minting press, causing the design to be struck off-center. These off-center coins are highly valued by collectors because they are considered anomalies, mistakes that were never supposed to leave the mint. While these types of coins might look like defects to the untrained eye, they are actually considered some of the most interesting and valuable pieces in any collection. Beyond minting errors, the condition of the coin plays a massive role in determining its value. As with any collectible, the better the condition, the more valuable the coin. Most of the 1995 quarters you'll find in circulation have been in and out of wallets, pockets, and vending machines. Over time, these coins can show signs of wear, scratches, and discoloration. However, if you happen to come across a 1995 quarter that has been preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth much more than face value. These coins are often graded by professional numismatists, and those that receive high grades, such as MS65 or higher, are extremely desirable to collectors. So, let's break it down. What's the bottom line? How much could a 1995 quarter be worth? Well, if you happen to have one of these rare 1995 quarters with a minting error like a double die or off-center strike, or if you've got one in uncirculated, near-perfect condition, you could be holding something incredibly valuable. A coin in exceptional condition or with an error could be worth an astonishing $70,000. That's right, $70,000. A single 1995 quarter with the right features, errors, or condition could fetch this impressive sum in the market. It's a find that could change your life, and it's exactly why collectors are on the lookout for these hidden gems. A coin that was meant to be a simple part of everyday life could now be worth more than a house, a car, or even a small business. So, the next time you're going through your loose change, remember to take a closer look at those 1995 quarters. If you spot one with an error or in perfect condition, you might just be sitting on a goldmine. It's moments like these that make coin collecting such an exciting hobby. What you find might be worth far more than you could ever imagine. Top 4 1994 United States quarter dollar? This coin might just seem like a regular quarter you've seen countless times, but wait until you hear how rare and valuable it can be. If you've ever wondered what makes certain coins worth a fortune, this video is going to blow your mind. Stick with us until the end, because we'll reveal just how much a 1994 quarter can be worth. Trust us, you won't want to miss this. Let's start by taking a closer look at the 1994 quarter dollar. The United States Mint produced millions of these quarters in 1994, so at first glance, this coin might seem like it's not particularly special. It features the classic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, which has been a hallmark of U.S. quarters for decades. But what really makes this coin stand out is what's hidden beneath the surface. There's a lot more to the 1994 quarter than just the design. The first thing that can make this coin valuable is its rarity. While most 1994 quarters were produced in large quantities, only a small fraction of them have the unique characteristics that collectors and investors are looking for. The majority of the coins minted during this year were circulated and used in everyday transactions, which means they've been subjected to wear and tear over time. However, some 1994 quarters have managed to survive in near-perfect condition, which makes them highly sought after by collectors. But it's not just about condition, there are certain errors and unique features that can take the value of this coin to a whole new level. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is discovering those hidden mistakes that make a coin one of a kind. And when it comes to the 1994 quarter, there are several minting errors that can make this coin worth far more than its face value. One of the most valuable types of errors that collectors search for is the double die strike. This happens when a coin is struck more than once during the minting process, causing the design to appear doubled. With the 1994 quarter, this error can often be spotted in the lettering and the profile of George Washington. Imagine having a coin where Washington's name or the word Liberty appears twice. Now that's a rare find. These double die errors are highly coveted by collectors because they are such a rarity, and owning one of these can significantly increase the value of your 1994 quarter. Another error that can make a 1994 quarter particularly valuable is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing the design to be struck off-center. As a result, part of the coin may appear blank, with the design missing or only partially visible. Off-center errors are considered extremely rare, and collectors love these coins because they are unique. Each off-center strike is different, and there's something truly special about owning a coin that was never meant to exist in that form. There are also other types of minting errors that could affect the 1994 quarter, such as misaligned dies or flaws in the metal used during production. While these may be more difficult to spot, they can add significant value to a coin if they are found. The more unique and uncommon the error, the higher the demand among collectors. Of course, we can't forget about the importance of condition. A 1994 quarter that has been kept in mint or near mint condition can be far more valuable than one that has been worn down by years of circulation. When a coin is free from scratches, discoloration, and other signs of wear, it's considered to be in excellent condition. Collectors place a premium on coins that have been carefully preserved, and a 1994 quarter in uncirculated condition is definitely worth taking a closer look at. Now, let's get to the exciting part. How much could a 1994 quarter be worth? If you happen to have a 1994 quarter with a rare minting error, or one that's in pristine, uncirculated condition, the value could be absolutely staggering. Are you ready for this? A 1994 quarter with the right error or in top condition could be worth a jaw-dropping $74,000. Yes, you heard that right, $74,000 for a single 1994 quarter. That's not a typo. It's a truly remarkable figure, especially when you consider that most quarters from this year are worth just 25 cents. But with the right error or condition, this little coin could be worth a small fortune. So, the next time you're going through your spare change or hunting for coins at your local flea market or coin shop, remember to keep an eye out for the 1994 quarter. You never know, the coin you hold in your hand could be the one that takes your coin collection and your bank account to the next level. If you enjoyed learning about the 1994 quarter and want to discover more rare coins that could make you a fortune, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest videos. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting!